Good morning, students. In this session we are going to discuss about inheritance. Before going to start the inheritance, here I will give one example. For example, class A, right? In class A, public int b void display. Here class A is there. Class A, in this class A, I am going to declare one data member, that is B. I am going to declare one function, that is display function. Here now I want to access this B and display function outside the class. How we are going to access this B and display function outside the class? We have to create one object. Here I am going to create one object obj. By using this obj, I am going to access the variable B, that is 20. Here obj dot display, right? obj dot display function. Here I can access this display function by using one object. Here obj dot b, I am going to access the b variable. Obj dot display, I am going to access this display function which is declared in class A. Now I am going to declaring one more class, that is class B. One more class B. In this class B, I am going to declare two variables. One C variable is there, one more function void add function, right? Here I am declaring C variable and I am declaring one add function, right? In this case, here to access C and add, right, we have to create one more object for this class B. So B obj2, by using this obj2 we can access the variable C, that is 40. obj2 dot add, we can call this member function outside the class, right? Now by using this obj2 class, by using this obj2 object, is it possible to access the variable B? No. Is it possible to access the display function? No. Why? Because here we are creating the object for class B. By using the object of class B, we can access the data member functions of class B only, right? Here by using this obj object, is it possible to access the C variable? No. By using this obj, is it possible to access this add function? No. Why? Because this obj is the object of class A. By using the object of class A, we can access the data members of A only, and we can access the member functions of A. We can access B as B data member, and we can access display member function, right? Here in some cases we can access the data members and member functions of one class with the object of another class. We can access the data members of one class, we can access the data members and member functions of one class by using the object of another class. How is it possible? By using the concept of inheritance. In inheritance, we are going to inherit the next slide. In inheritance, we are going to use one class data members and one class member function in another class. In inheritance, allows the user to define a class in terms of another class. We are going to defining one class in terms of another class, right? This is known as the inheritance. Sorry. Here the main use of inheritance is code reusability. Code reusability is the main usage of inheritance. Code reusability is main usage of inheritance. Why we are going to use this code reusability? It means that objects, data members, member functions of one class is going to be used by the another class. See here, next slide. Next. Here for example, class A, in this class A, public int A, void display. Right. Here I am declaring one data member A and one member function display. Now here I am going to inherit the properties of class A. I am going to inherit the properties of class A into class B. Here class, I am defining one class B. Here in class B, here I am going to declare one variable, that is int B, void show function is there. Here I am declaring two classes, class A. In class A I am declaring one variable, that is A, and one member function, that is display. In class B I am declaring one data member B and one display function, that is show. Right. Now this class B can access the data members and member functions of A if you are going to use inheritance concept. Here public A. Here this class B is going to inherit class A. Class B is going to inherit class A. It means that class B is going to inherit all the properties of class A. Class B inherits all the properties of class A. What are the class A properties? Here one is data member A, one display function is there. Now this class B is going to inherit all the properties of A, means now class B consists of two data members, that is A and B, two member function, that is show and display. Class B inherits all the properties of class A. Now this class A becomes the parent class. Class A becomes the parent class. Now this class B becomes the child class. In inheritance, child class inherits all the properties of its base class. Child class inherits all the properties of its parent class. Right. In some cases this A class is known as the superclass. Now this child class is known as subclass. Here subclass inherits all the properties of its superclass. Subclass inherits all the properties of its superclass. Now I am going to create one object for this class B obj2. Here I am going to creating one object for class B. Right. By using the object of class B, I can access the data member functions of its superclass. Here obj2.a, obj2.display, obj2.b, obj2.show. Here, see here, by using the object of subclass, we can access the data members and member functions of its superclass. By using the objects of base class, we can access the data members and member functions of its superclass. Why? Because subclass is going to inherit all the properties of its superclass. And one more thing, if I am going to create the object for this class A, obj1, right? By using this obj1, we can access the A value, right? obj1.a. Why? Because A is the data member of class A. obj1.display. Right? Now, is it possible to access the data member of its subclass? No. Why? Because here superclass is not going to inherit all the properties of its subclass. Superclass is not going to inherit all the properties of its subclass. Only subclass is going to inherit all the properties of its superclass. Here by use here obj1.show. No, we can't access the show function and b variable by using the object of its superclass. By using the object of superclass, we can't access the data members and member functions of its subclass, but we can use the object of subclass to access the data members and member functions of its superclass. Here here in the previous example, we are displaying here in class A, we are displaying the display function. In class B, we are going to declaring the show function. Here in class B, here no need to again declare the display function. Why? Because already class B is going to inherit the properties of its superclass. That's the reason we are not going to defining the display function. So that is the code reusability functionality. That is known as code reusability, means we are not going to redefine the code which is present in its superclass, right? We are not going to redefining the code which is present in its superclass. Just we are going to inherit all the properties of its superclass. In subclass, we are going to inherit all the properties of its superclass. So, next slide. Here, when we are creating a class, instead of writing the completely new data members and member functions, programmer can designate the new class should inherit the members of its existing class. That's it. Here we are going to we are going to use the same data members of its superclass as it is in subclass, right? Here, for example, here a class A is there. Class B, public A, class C, public A. Here, this class A is the superclass for class B and class C. Class A is the superclass for class B and class C. Single class can be derived here. Class B and class C both can be derived from a single class, that is A. Here we can have for this class B, for the class C, we are having only single superclass, right? Here a class can be derived more than one classes, which means it inherits and data functions and member functions of its base class. See here, whatever the data members are declared here, it is going to inherit here also. For example, int A is there, void display is there, it is going to be used here also, right? Here same these two are going to use here, right? Here, and for a single here, class B is there, public A, class C is there. Instead of B, we can use, instead of A, we can use this B also. Why? Because here, for this class C, which one is its superclass? This one, class B is the superclass for this class C. For class B, which one is superclass? Class A is the superclass, right? Here, indirectly, class C is going to inherit all the properties of its class A and class B. Here, in class C is going to inherit all the properties of class A and class B. Why? Because class C is going to derive from class B. Class C is going to derive from class B. Now class B is going to derive from class A. Here whatever the data members, member functions which are present in class A is going to present in class B. Right? Whatever the data members, member functions are present in class B is going to present here. So in this case we are having the data members of class A as well as class B. In class C, we are having the data members of class A, we are having the data members of class B, then already we are declaring some data members and member functions in C, right? Here, this is the concept of inheritance. In inheritance, we are having base class, we are having one base class or superclass or and subclass, child class is going to inherit all the properties of its parent class, right? So, pause. Yeah. Now, next slide. here, well, I am going to deriving one class from its base class. Well, I am going to deriving one class from its base class. Here I am going to use here access specifier, public, private and protected, public, private and protected. Here if I am not going to specify anything here, then what is the default access modifier, access specifier? That is private. Default is private, so directly it is going to take the private access specifier. Directly it is going to take the private access specifier. See here. Here this is the syntax for inheritance class. See here. Class, right, class, then derived class name is B, right. Access specifier is public or private or protected, right. Then base class, what is the base class? A. Base class is A. We can perform the inheritance in these three access specifier modes. Here public, private and protected. Public, private and protected. See here, class A is there. Class A is the superclass. Class B is the subclass. Right? Class B is the subclass. For the subclass, we can inherit the base class here by using these three access modifiers, that is public, second one is the private, third one is the protected. In this by using these three access specifiers, we can perform the inheritance. This is the general syntax for inheritance. How we are going to write, how we are going to perform the inheritance. Here first is the class, here class is the keyword, derived class name is B, access specifiers are either public, private or protected, then base class name is A. Then next slide. Here in general, here a derived here access control and inheritance. In general, a derived class can access all the non-private data members of its base class. Here generally class A is there, public int A, private int B, protected int C, right. This is class A. Class A is having three data members, that is int A, B, C. Three data members, one is present in class A, A is present in the public access specifier mode, B is present in private access specifier mode, C is present in protected access specifier modes. Here now I am going to derive one class B, here public A. Now here class B is the subclass, here A is the superclass. Now here this subclass is going to inherit all the non-private data members. It can inherit public and protected data members in its subclass. It is not going to inherit the private data members. It is not going to inherit the private data member in its subclass. Remaining part I will continue in the next video.